Hey, how's it
Hey.
going, gentlemen? All right, congrats. Let's put you front and center here. Thank you for your patience. So you had the premiere last night. How'd it go?
Oh man, yeah,
It was fantastic. It was a
amazing.
whirlwind. I was fully expecting it to be a little bit surreal, and it was that and then
69.
some. But yeah, so much love in the theater. So many amazing people there, friends, family. We packed the house full of, I would say, at least 75 nurses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And so is this the premiere?
Yeah, this was our world premiere.
First time we had this many eyeballs on it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I'm able to put it up on the big screen, crank the audio, blew out my eardrums in the best possible way. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those kind of pinch me moments of getting to see it at the TCL Chinese Theater with a full packed house, amazing projection, amazing audio. The film has never looked and sounded this good. There were moments where I was like, oh, I didn't realize they had done that sound design wise because I'd never heard it on a system that robust. And then obviously too, getting to share it with anyone and getting to feel their energy, their responses to moments. It's a nail biter. It puts you on the edge of your seat and you can feel that. There was a guy next to me who was very squeamish. And I was having a lot of fun kind of watching him just do this the whole time. Like, oh no.
You could feel the anxiety of like the room and feel for the character. And that's exactly what you want as a filmmaker, to feel kind of like to translate that, with sound, with dialogue, but on top of everything, just kind of his journey.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to show the teaser trailer to our audience, and then we'll go to audience questions. But obviously your goal is to show this to an audience, to get reviews, and you've kicked off your festival tour, I would assume. What else do you get? I mean, as you described, you can't being in a room with an audience, you can feel the energy of the audience. What's that like?
100%. I mean, it's you said it last night when we were doing our Q&A, just like we're in a room full of people watching the same thing. And you covet that attention and that focus and that communal shared experience when watching something. I love it when I'm watching other filmmakers' work, but of course it's especially special when it's your work. And your nose has been to the grindstone for so long, you almost forget that it's meant to be shared. And then when you suddenly look up and get to share it with people and remember that it was designed to affect them and it's affecting them, there's nothing quite as electric as that.
Yeah, I look at it almost like a really good sandwich. Like you get to walk there and see people and maybe someone that you haven't seen in a while, and then you get the like meat and like the veggie, whatever it is in the middle, and then after that you get the other side of the sandwich where you get to settle with it, talk about it, and explain kind of how it made you feel with other ones. So like there's this like beautiful sandwich that you get to take a bite out of, especially when you go into a theater. So it's something that I think a lot of times we've taken for granted. Theaters, movies are all there, but at the same time we forget like the beauty of like the community that you can build, or just seeing another human being beyond just your television screen. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the teaser for the movie. I've got it queued up right here. Let's look at it.
Once. Sadie? Once. Wake up. I made a mistake once. I need an ambulance at 7326 Richmond Avenue. Sadie.
Everything okay?
Where are you?
Should I call my doctor?
Where were you last night?
So what did happen to Sadie?
What are you so afraid of me seeing?
I was there every single day and I tried. I tried for her, I tried for you, and I tried for everyone. I gave everything.
Once. I made a mistake once.
Wow.
Yeah, let me tell you why I like your movie so much. It's a story we've seen before of a guy whose life slowly unravels, where the pressure of life just tears him apart. And your character Harry is usually a drug addict or someone who's embezzling money or something like that. But your character is a nerd who goes around helping people, and that his life is falling apart because he's trying to do good and trying to help people along his route. And this is a take on that story that I've never seen before, and just absolutely impressed by the film by the end.
It means a lot.
Thank you, thank you
Thanks
so much. Yeah, it's to hear that, like, you know, when we're making it and trying to. When I was talking to Chris, when we kind of like the day really before we started shooting, you know, to hear kind of his vision and to carry it through it, like I was blown away by the possibilities of what this could be. So to see it fully come through, and it's been 2 years since we've like worked on this. So, you know, it almost feels like this part of our lives where we shot this in, you know, 18 days, but you've lived with it for over, you know, 10 years, right? In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So it's really, I mean, for you, I'm just like, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I just kind of build off of that and say it was such a wonderful collaboration getting to work with Harry and kind of taking us back to that day before shooting. The first scene we actually shot was featured quite prominently in that trailer where he's shouting and declaring, "Once I made a mistake once." That was day one of shooting. And actually, Harry and I had a great conversation about that scene. And we, the day before, decided to rework that monologue a little bit.
Yeah.
And Harry, and his astuteness was looking at the script and recognizing what I was trying to say, but also recognizing more could be said, and kind of pulling at that thread and allowing to develop that character, develop that moment, which is very pivotal to his character and who he is as his life, like you're saying, is coming undone. And he's wrestling with, this feels unjust. This feels wrong, that my life, of all people's lives, is coming undone after all that I've done. And yeah, it was a great way to kick it off. Kind of jumping straight into the deep end with one of the more emotionally dramatic scenes.
how you want to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you walk away from that going, I think we did that, then there's an energy and an excitement to do the rest. Like, that's what we're building towards.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a nice way of almost working backwards. So you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect it going backwards in hindsight, right? So it really was very helpful that it was positioned that way.
So you're saying you shot it backwards in a way?
I mean, sometimes it did feel that way.
Was that Ronnie Cheng in the trailer, the teaser?
Yeah, it was.
I love it's great.
My question is, how did he get the name Hector?
So that was in the script. It was the name we had. Brian came on very late in the process. We were literally.
He had 1 day to prep.
Yeah, we were 3/4 of the way through our shoot, and we hadn't cast that role. And we had 48 hours before that character's, all of his scenes were going to be shot. And unfortunately, Harry knows Ronnie well. And he had said to me, like, "Hey, how would you feel if I reached out to him?" And I said, I think that'd be fantastic, because this is a very dramatic, nail-biting film. And what films like that need in order to be as effective as they are is moments of respite, moments of levity, moments where you can have a breath. And I knew bringing him in would bring that in some really needed ways. And so I said, please, I mean, who knows if he's available, but he reached out on a Friday night at 5 p.m. I was speaking to him on the phone for the first time in my life around 8 p.m. after he'd read the script. He was on a plane on Saturday. He shot all day Sunday and left. So the joke was always like, I don't know if he remembers that he was on the film.
No, and he kept asking, he was like, "What's up with that film? What's up with that film that we did?" And yesterday it was just so great for him to see it. It was his first time seeing it, and to talk about kind of the, like, you know, he got to go in Houston and shoot. He doesn't do that many indie films, and especially dramatic roles. So I was people were so impressed by his turn, and you know, I think stand-up comedians and comedians, they, as we've seen, can do great dramatic roles if they're just given the right ones. And he sticks the landing on this one,
because it needs time.
We've got almost 2,000 people watching live. We've got a lot of questions from our audience. Let's go to those, and comments too. Kara says, "Congrats on the premiere."
Thank you so much.
And here we go from the nerd far away. Hail, Mr. Shum and Mr. Hartwell. What is your favorite part about making your film, and what would you like to do next?
For me, it's the collaboration. If I wanted to do art by myself, I would become a painter or a novelist. And I love writing a script and seeing what that material excites in other people, what inspires them, what they pull from it. So that collaboration with people like Harry, my cinematographer Paul Dufio, production designer Gabe Dewar, all those collaborations are wonderful.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I like to piggyback off that. Just the fact that this film was really made with so much heart. I mean, like it really was, and beyond the technical skills, it was the energy that everyone pushed and provided for in the very early mornings that we had, and especially in indie film when the resources are limited. That's the only thing you have sometimes, and magic can be created if you put it together.
Solomon Thornton asked, greetings, Sir Harry and Sir Chris. What is your best advice for directing actors?
Listen. If you have taken the time to cast the right person, if you have understood the character on the page and found the person that you believe can bring that to life, let them do what they know better than you, which is to act, and listen to their instincts. So yeah, listen. I think that's just the simplest advice. Listen.
Davina Duckworth, where did Chris get the idea for writing the film?
Thank you so much for asking that question. I love it, and I love answering this question because it gets me to talk about my wife. So my wife is a home health nurse, and my dad is a doctor. So as you can imagine, they brought home a lot of very interesting stories over the years, and a lot of very interesting characters, so to speak, that they've interacted with, both patients and medical providers. And without really even realizing it, I was collecting those stories over my entire lifetime. And when it came time to write this film, it sort of just fell out of me. So yeah, they were the inspiration, to be sure.
And a final question here from Tony, Youthful Eagle Ilias. When can general audiences expect to see the film?
It's a great question, and sooner rather than later is the hope and prayer. So our sales agency is working very hard at getting international and domestic distribution as we speak. So hopefully we have some really good news to share in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait for others to see it. But Alan, I know Alan has a final question because I know he's filled with glee that you're both here.
No, I'm just saying my wife and I saw you on the Glee tour here in
Oh,
Anaheim.
really? Oh, what city?
Amy, over at the Honda Center.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. But I mean, I've got to say, you and Jenna on Glee is the first time where it's like, wow, two really good Asian characters and Asian actors on a television show. And you know it. We don't see that a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, big fan of yours and Glee as well.
Oh,
Alan is Asian, just so you know.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. I mean, it's when we talk about things that happen. I mean, this was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And to be here now, I just think we've made a lot of progress, and we get to talk about it about other different communities as well. So it's so neat.
Yeah.
And we get to win Academy Awards. So
hell yeah.
Finally. Congratulations, you both, on the kickoff at Dances with Films, and I'm sure everyone will get to see the movie at some point soon. Thank you for coming to talk to us here on Film Threat.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, when you reached out, I was over the moon. I've followed you guys' stuff for the longest time, so being here talking very surreal.
Well, thank you for your amazing work. Congrats again. Take care, both.
And great film.
Thank you. Bye.